All right, Stump My Nephew. We found out years ago that my nephew was extremely good at gun trivia and gun history and all kinds of information when it comes to guns. He's really, really great. Last week we tried something interesting. Rather than a gun trivia question, we had an opinion question. And went over really well. I actually got a lot of positive feedback, and I thought the segment went really, really well. And someone else thought it went really, really well. And we got so we're going to do it again because of some of the feedback we received. So, Sam, how you doing, man?
I'm well. How are you guys?
Good.
Good.
Are you ready for somebody wants your opinion again?
Okay. I suppose I can oblige.
You can oblige? All right, cool. All right, who wants to do the...
I'll do it.
There you go. Fire
All
away.
right. So your question today comes from Frederick, and he's in San Marcos. His question is, last week I heard you give advice about a new 1911. I'm thinking about getting a hunting rifle that I will use for target practice and hunting deer or boar. I was thinking about going with a 30-06, but what about a 308 or a 6.5 Creedmoor?
Frederick in San Marcos. Thanks for writing in. Frederick wants advice on a hunting rifle that he also wants to use for target shooting. He said he's interested in boar hunting, and he was looking at 30-06. I would definitely go with 308 over a 30-06. For a general purpose hunting rifle, 30-06 does not generally provide enough greater performance than 308 to matter, unless you know you're hunting some specific game that requires the more powerful cartridge. In fact, 308, 7.62 by 51, from which 308 is derived, originally was loaded to the same performance specs as military grade 30-06 back in the 50s when the cartridge was invented. And it was only advances in powder technology that allowed them to get 30-06 performance in a case half an inch shorter. Now, commercial spec 30-06 is loaded a little bit hotter than the stuff they were using in World War II. Hence why you're not supposed to use modern ammo in an M1. You can damage the operating rod. But all that aside, 308 gives you almost as much performance, and it is a lot easier to find the ammo, and it's a lot cheaper. 6.5 Creedmoor also tends to be more expensive, like 30-06. I don't know what the price difference is between 06 and 6.5, but it is definitely a more specialized round. It fires a smaller caliber bullet from a case the same size and is loaded to the same overall length usually. So the bullet tends to be more aerodynamic. It has a higher ballistic coefficient, and that yields an advantage in long-range precision shooting. So if you want to go out and shoot PRS matches, then I would say a chassis-based gun in 6.5 would be a great choice. But if you just want a bolt-action hunting rifle to go shoot boar and deer and whatever else, and you also want it to be fun to take to the range, I would say like a Savage Axis 2 in 308, or if you can find just some beater 308 hunting rifle action, put it in a Boyd's laminate stock with a nice 1-inch thick recoil pad, and you'll be off to the races. That's all you need, really.
That's interesting. Okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, but so you're saying, let me just kind of recap so I make sure I understand. You're saying that essentially 308 is cheaper than 306, and you get the same performance. Or if there is a performance difference, it's not significant enough to justify paying more for 30-06. You generally it's about the same performance. And my understanding, the history of 308 and 30-06, the M1 Garand was a 30-06, and when they decided to design a new rifle for the military, they wanted it to cycle, successfully, but they also were looking at making it full auto and decided that a 30-06 cartridge was too long, so a 308 was developed for the purpose of being shorter, therefore, cycling better, but also having the same performance as a 30-06. Did I sum that up accurately?
The story is a bit more complicated than that, but you could write an entire book on the development of 7.62 by 51 and 308 and still not cover the whole topic. But basically, yes, it originally had the same, effectively the same performance as 30-06 military ammunition, but in a half-inch shorter case. Now, again, the modern commercial 30-06 is a bit more powerful than the military stuff was back in the day. So there is a performance difference, but as you said, in my opinion, based on the tables and based on talking to people who have hunted and do a lot of hunting, people who have been hunting for longer than I have been alive, if you know you need a 30-06 for something that a 308 can't do, or even move up to a 300 Win Mag for something that a 308 just can't do as well, then you're in a different category. But if you're just going, well, I want a hunting rifle that I can use for a lot of stuff, just go with 308. It's easier, it's cheaper.
And tell people, what's the difference between 308 and 7.62 by 51?
7.62 by 51 is the NATO standard, well, one of the NATO standard military rounds, but 7.62 is the military version. 308 Winchester has the same dimensions, but is loaded to, I believe, slightly higher pressures, though some of that is also because the NATO FVAT pressure measuring standards are different from the way SAMI does it and the way CIP does it. But there's one-way cross-compatibility. In a 308 rifle, it's safe to shoot 7.62 NATO. Just like in sort of the other way around, if you have a 5.56 rifle, it's safe to shoot 223 Remington.
Interesting. And do you think 6.5 Creedmoor is here to stay, or do you think that it's going to fade away?
Oh, 6.5 Creedmoor is absolutely here to stay. It's popular not just in the precision competition community, but some militaries have been using it for special operations type troops because you get a round that fits in the same short action, it's called, as 7.62 or 308, but has much better ballistics past about 600 yards. So if you're shooting out to 1,000 yards or 1,000 kilometers, depending on what country you're in, 6.5 will have less drop, it will be affected less by wind, and it will retain velocity better.
I have a question for you, Sam.
Sure.
What exactly is the difference between 308 and 7.62 by 51?
It's a pressure
just
difference. 308, as I said, is I think it's a little hotter.
That's all right. We'll leave that on the cutting room floor. Cool. Any other questions for Sam? Awesome job, man.
Well, what do you guys think?
I don't know.
What do you guys
Honestly,
think?
I'll tell you.
I was clearly researching when you answered that question.
Yeah,
I was
I
looking
was
at something
reading.
else. I was researching something.
Honestly, there's something about 30-06. It's just been drilled into my head that 30-06 has so many different uses that there are different rounds, and it's so much easier to find like one that's more appropriate for smaller game, one that's more appropriate for bigger game, and it's such. For some, even though 308 was, is just as American, there's something about a 30-06 that is so standard and so USA to me that I think you're absolutely right. 308 can do what a 30-06 can do generally, and it's cheaper, and cheaper is always a good thing. But there's something about a 30-06 that just warms the cockles of my heart. So
The
for
fun
that reason
propaganda
alone.
got you.
Yeah, exactly. I'm totally. I'm a victim to 30-06. Big 30-06 has gotten to me. So, but anyway, you probably can't go wrong. I still am. I'm a little skeptical of 6.5 Creedmoor. But if he's got a bolt action, he's just looking for like a general purpose bolt action. He's not going to go wrong on.
What's your issue with
308
Creedmoor?
or 30-06.
What's your concern with Creedmoor?
It just seems like such a. It seems like such a new round, and it's not as established.
It hasn't proven itself to you yet.
It hasn't proven itself, and it feels like guys that are 6.5 Creedmoor fans are kind of jerks. You know what I mean? Like they think they're so much better than the rest of us. So that bothers me. There's a lot going on in my head, Alicia, when it comes to caliber. I probably overthink this stuff in all the wrong ways. Anyway, what do you think, Dakota? What would you do? What would you recommend this guy get?
I honestly don't know enough about this topic to have any opinion.
I think that's probably the most honest.
It's like I could pretend I know things, but I would literally just be trying to repeat what he said in different words.
Yeah, the only thing of what was thrown out there, the three calibers there, the one thing that I was aware of already was that the cost difference. That really, the rest of the information that Sam has, the science behind it, I didn't know all of that, but the cost difference is the one aspect I was familiar with.
Is
So
the
it makes sense.
military? Is the military still using 308? Is there something, or is there a reason 308 might disappear? Or it's so standard, it's always going to be around.
No, 308 being effectively the same. I know they're not actually the same, but being effectively the same as 7.62 NATO, it's here for as long as that is. And with how many millions, probably billions of rounds worldwide in stockpiles there are, and how much manufacturing capacity exists to support it for systems like the M240 and or as it is designated by the manufacturer, the FN Mag, or the L7 GPMG if you're British for some reason, and like the minigun and all these various other platforms that use 7.62 by 51. It's not going away anytime soon. Like maybe in 100 years, maybe in 50, probably not even in 50 years, maybe in 100 years, or when we begin fielding laser weapons at the individual level. But I think it's here to stay. Now, one more thing as a parting thought for Frederick, I believe his name was.
Yep.
If you're buying a hunting rifle, but you want to enjoy shooting it, make sure the stock has a thick recoil pad on it. And as I said a few minutes ago, I like Boyd's gun stocks. You can get them sort of customized to whatever you like, and they're not too expensive. But hunting rifles tend to be very lightweight so that they carry well. But that also means that, lightweight gun firing a full power, powerful cartridge, that will beat you up a little bit. So get a thick butt pad and you'll be fine.
Good advice. It just feels like it's, baseball, apple pie, and 30-06.
You're not wrong.
Yeah, right. So
Sam, I'm curious. Now, this is the rabbit hole I was looking at when I got a little distracted earlier. I went down a rabbit hole here of looking at 6.5 Creedmoor versus 260. I'm not familiar with 260. Is that something that you know about?
260 Remington, if memory serves, is a. See, I always get 260 Remington and 270 Winchester mixed up. 260 Remington has, I believe, a little bit longer case than 6.5 Creedmoor, and can be loaded to slightly higher velocities at the muzzle, but the difference between case length and overall length is less, so the bullets are often, they often have a little bit lower ballistic coefficients than in 6.5. That's, if I remember correctly. Don't take that as gospel. If you're interested in using 260 or 6.5, do the research yourself and look in your reloading manual and check all the information on that. That's if I remember correctly.
there you go.
Look in your reloading manual
Yeah, that you have.
that you just have on your shelf.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I have two of them.
Sam does.
That's normal.
No, I believe you have one. I'm just like, do we all have those? Was I supposed to get one when I bought my first gun?
Yeah.
Okay,
Where's
well,
your
it's,
reloading manual?
this is one of those things. If you are a serious enough precision shooter to need to know the difference in performance between 6.5 Creedmoor and 260 Remington, you own at least one reloading manual already.
Okay. Fair enough. This just is not my sport.
All right, well, there you go. Frederick from San Marcos, you got a lot of feedback there.
Go for the 308.
Good luck. Yep, pretty much. I think the consensus is generally 308, unless you want to be a real American, then 30-06. But whatever you do, avoid 6.5. I think that was the consensus. Is that what we came up with? You were taking notes, Dakota. Is that what you?
yeah,
Okay.
that's
So,
good.
Thank you for writing in. Awesome job, Sam. And let us know if you have a question or need some advice.
If you liked that segment, be sure to give us a like, a comment, and go to youtube.com/gunownersradio and subscribe to our channel. Be sure to share us with a friend. Every view counts.